Your ways are not our ways, Lord. Your thoughts are not our thoughts. For how unsearchable, unknowable is the wisdom of our God.
Good morning, brothers. Good morning, sisters. It's Pastor Dominique in our wisdom. And then we've got an invited guest today that's going to join us in this hour of wisdom. And she's going to introduce herself.
I'm SOMWE. I'm Pastor Dominique's wife.
Amen. So she's my wife, and then we've made this journey together. It's been more than 36 years or 35 years that we have met, and our son is about 28.
Yes, 28.
28, turning 28 this year. So we've been around together for a long time and more years to come. So I want us to share on this our wisdom together today.
So we met since we were at the university, just in case you who think that those relationships that started the university and they know we met since the university. So yes, we had medical school together, we finished together, then we got married and we moved, and we are still strong, loving each other and loving the Lord.
So we basically met where we had no bank accounts, no savings, no source of income, and whatever we've got, we have made it together. So the lessons that we're talking about, financial intelligence, we've acquired that financial intelligence together. And I know for a fact that, if we look back, she was more financially intelligent than I was. And then many of the things that I'm discussing today with you, some of them, I learned from her and I developed them.
Yeah, because I have a background of, my parents were traders, okay, yeah, we can call them businessmen now and women, but they were basically trading. And then I could see them doing a lot of things together. So I pick up whatever that I could pick up with my studies also. I added it. So yeah, whatever that you're picking up from your parents, don't just say that they are doing this because they don't know. But yes, God put you in a certain family so that you can see, you can know, you can learn a few things that you can apply also into your life.
And for me, my father was a post office employee all his life, and then he went up to become a pensioner from post office, and still until he dies, they could give him an income, because in those days they will employ you and pay you for life, although it was a little bit, but my mother was just a housewife. So that's my background, and then today, we're discussing again about financial intelligence.
I've never seen my parents going to work. My father, my mom, nobody was going to work. They were not going to a formal work, like they didn't have any pay slip, they didn't work for anyone. They were working for themselves. So I went on studying and finished, and then working, but I had it in mind. Even when I was at the university, I will still trade, do some small businesses and all that. So I always knew that I couldn't live only with my salary. Even as a medical doctor, I didn't think that a medical doctor's salary would satisfy my dreams. So I would always want to add something on my salary.
And then for me, my background, basically, you see, the financial intelligence that I understand growing up as a young man is to qualify and have a good job. I grew up part of my life in a small town, a mining town. So for me, the people that impressed me the most were either engineers or they were doctors. So I decided, because I did well at school, either to become an engineer or to become a doctor. But my sister finished before, and she was a nurse. I don't know what she went through with doctors, so she decided, and I spoke to my parents like me, as a brother, I'm gonna go on and be a doctor. That's exactly what I did. Went to varsity, focused on my studies, and hoping that when I finish as a doctor, that will be the end of my financial difficulties?
I was working as a medical doctor, with my husband also working as a medical doctor, but I decided to start trading. And I started trading. I read some few years later on, I read about the Robert Kiyosaki book that was saying that rich people, they have their money working for them and poor people work for money. At that time, my money was just active money and my business that I was doing. And then when I read that, I just felt, so according to this guy, I'm just poor. Though I had such a big income, but he would call me poor because if I didn't do something, my income would stop. So I decided we need to start making some other type of income that he called passive income, where even if I'm sleeping, I could still make money. That's how we went into properties.
You see now, and we have discovered what we've been discussing. If you want to create an income, you'll have to know what kind of income. Basically, we discussed it before. We just want to remind you, there is active income where you sell your time, you sell your expertise. There is what you call residual income, where you build up something by working, and then once that is done, then you start bringing an income. And then we talk about the so-called passive income that coming from invention and coming from investment. As you can see, we were both doctors. So the first type of income that we started creating is active income. That means we were employed by the government and we worked. You go there, you spend your time and your expertise as a doctor, and you got paid a salary. And then that on its own build up a certain mindset, especially when you're working in government. You are used now to go to work, spend time, even if you're not productive, you're expected to be paid at the end of the month. Now she spoke to you, she says she started trading. In other words, from a government employee, we started moving into self-employed. And then for self-employed, we started moving into buying properties so that we rent and then start making up an income. So we started diversifying our source of income.
Yes, we started buying 1, 2, 3, 4 houses and all that, and then it started, we could see that it was giving us another type of income, because from the rental, we didn't need to be there, but every month end we'll get a certain income. And we saw that it was good, but it was so much capital intense, because you need to invest in a house and put people there and pray that those people will be good tenants, not psychotic ones. And then, yes, and that's how we started having another type of income that didn't need our presence there. But we noticed also that it was capital intense.
But as for me, I didn't stop the doctor's job. I, in the meantime, qualified as a specialist. And then I moved again, not working for government, and started working for myself. Now, that on its own, for people that are working for themselves, it creates another problem. So you become your own boss. Sometimes when you're your own boss, you even are worse than you were with government. Because if you don't work, who pays you? Where you gonna go and ask for a salary? If you fall sick, who's gonna pay you? If you're in an accident, who's gonna pay you? So to bring out a reality of being a self-employed, which you'll have to change now your mindset. When I say change your mindset, what do I mean? Like when I work for myself, I'll have to take insurance, like something that is called income protector. You spend a lot of money there. Don't think that money is going one way, because it's building you up so that if you go in a bad patch, you fall sick, you're in hospital, the income protection will start paying you. If you're in an accident, the income protection will start paying you. At the same time, you take your so-called insurance, life insurance. Because as you work as a self-employed, you can put yourself and your family at a certain level of income. So that if you die, they don't have to drop on an income straight. They'll have to maintain that kind of income. So you pay to pay another insurance. And then plus you have to pay protection from malpractice, because they can take you to court and all those kind of things. So from the employee of the government, you go to self-employed, you'll have to change your mindset. Otherwise, you're going to burn yourself. That means you may be making a lot of money when you sell them, but you'll have to pay 15% VAT to the government. You'll have to pay all your insurances, and at the end, you'll have to pay a 43% income tax at the end of the year.
Wow.
So if you go into self-employment with the same mindset as you were working for government, oh, you may burn yourself.
Yeah. So I like that change of mindset, and I think that it's part of the financial intelligence, because as an employee, you think that the government need to take care of you, and then you've got the security, your medical aid is paid sometimes by the government, and everything. It's like you've got a big boss who's the government. But when you go from employee to self-employed, you need to change your mindset, because many things won't work the same. There's no one behind you. You are your own boss, and you need to decide on when you need to save. You mustn't eat all the money. You mustn't, yes, you must save, you must get insurances and all that, the change of the mindset. If you don't change the mindset, you go into self-employed and you are eating everything as if tomorrow there will be something, like during this time of pandemic, COVID, there's no income. So you will have to live on your savings and on your investment. So you need to really educate yourself. That's why I feel that this financial intelligence and these financial teachings, wisdom on how to manage your finances, it's so important. If you move to be a self-employed, you will have to adjust a lot. Mindset change. Yeah.
Absolutely. The other mindset change, we're going to stop there today, and we're going to continue another day. We don't want to make this talk too long. I hope you have enjoyed the presence of my wife. Is this. When you work for government, I'm talking for myself, you know, you just come and work. You're not worried about where the patients are coming from. Now you move, and then you will become self-employed. You've got a shop, you've got a saloon and all those kind of things. Now you've got employees that depend on you. Those employees, they just sign a contract. At the end of the month, you'll have to pay them. You'll have to pay expenses. You have to pay the place that you're renting. You'll have to pay water. You have to pay electricity. And then now, the business that is coming on, you'll have to be active on creating that business.
Yeah.
In other words, as a self-employed, I don't just sit in my office and expect patients to come. I like to go out and market myself.
Yeah.
I like to speak to GPs. I like to find a hospital that is busy enough that when I cover the hospital, I should get some patients.
Yeah.
I like to speak to my colleagues, be nice to them, affable, and then relate nicely to them so that they will refer patient. I have to make my patient happy so that they come back again. You see, it's all different kind of mindsets, skills that you'll have to develop so that you can create that income.
Yeah, I like that part, because when you are self-employed, that's your own business, and you need not only to market yourself, but you need to develop skills, because people are not obliged to come to you. They will come to you if they are satisfied. So you need really to make sure that you're making them happy. And if you're behaving as if you're in a government where you just see those patients don't belong to you, then soon you're gonna run dry. And yes, you need to really be nice and develop some skills that will make your customers, your patients, to be happy and come back again.
Yes, today in this Hour of Wisdom, we've been talking about the source of income. We're giving you our story to show you that there are different types of income. We have really dwelt on going from being employed to self-employed. And then we have told you that you'll have to have a mindset change. You'll have to look for skills so that you'll be able to navigate and create multiple sources of income. Thanks for you that were with us today. We'll see you again in our wisdom. Stay safe, and I will talk again.
Bye.